Why the D65 became Komatsu's most important bulldozer. For decades, one name ruled earthmoving: Caterpillar. They didn't just dominate the market, they were the market. Every other manufacturer was fighting for scraps. But one machine changed that. Not the biggest, not the most powerful, a mid-sized dozer that shouldn't have stood a chance on American soil and ended up rewriting the rules. This is the story of the Komatsu D65. The machine that didn't just challenge Caterpillar, it forced the entire industry to evolve. Here's the thing about the 1970s. Caterpillar owned the global bulldozer market the way a lion owns a watering hole. You didn't buy a dozer, you bought a cat. Brand loyalty was religious. Komatsu had other ideas. They'd been building dozers in Japan since the 1950s, but breaking into the American market meant going head-to-head with the most trusted name in heavy equipment on its home turf. That's not a business decision, that's a declaration of war. And the weapon they chose? The D65. Not the D155, not the D85, the D65, a mid-sized crawler dozer sitting right in the sweet spot of demand. The class where most of the world's earth moving actually happens, where contractors spend most of their money and need most of their reliability. Section 1. The American Invasion. The D65 E-Series landed in North America with one job: prove that Japanese engineering could rival American steel. Now, that sounds simple. It wasn't. Caterpillar had a decades-long head start, a service network that blanketed the continent, and a customer base that wouldn't dream of switching. Komatsu had none of that. But what the D65E had was something CAT's aging D6 line couldn't match: relentless, continuous improvement. Komatsu didn't release one model and rest. They iterated. Every generation addressed real feedback from operators in the field: better hydraulics, stronger structures, cleaner emissions, more comfortable cabs. Which one of these beasts is thirstier? The question contractors were asking, and the D65 kept answering it better every cycle. By the mid-1980s, the D65 had become the backbone of Komatsu's expanding earth-moving fleet. It wasn't a novelty anymore. It was a legitimate competitor sitting in the same quarries, the same mines, the same highway projects as Caterpillar's iron. And that's when the real innovations started. Section 2. The SIGMADOZER. Here's where it gets really interesting. A bulldozer is only as good as its blade, and you can have all the horsepower in the world. If your blade can't hold material efficiently, you're just burning fuel to move dirt twice. Komatsu patented the SIGMADOZER, and it wasn't an incremental tweak. The blade's center is shaped like a bucket. It curves inward, cutting digging resistance and rolling material forward instead of letting it spill off the sides. The result? A 15% boost in productivity over conventional semi-U blades. 15%. In earth moving, where margins are measured in cubic yards per hour, that's not a number, that's a competitive advantage that pays for the machine. Think about it this way: if you're moving 1,000 cubic yards a day, a SIGMADOZER gives you 1,150 with the same machine, the same operator, the same fuel burn. That's the kind of math that wins contracts. Today we're going past the glossy brochures. That 15% isn't marketing, it's physics. The blade shape reduces the energy lost to material sliding sideways. Every ounce of horsepower goes into forward movement. If you're into this type of deep dive, the engineering, the history, the head-to-head battles between the biggest names in iron, hit that subscribe button. We break down machines that move the world, and you don't want to miss what's coming. Section 3. Plus undercarriage. Now let's talk about the most expensive part of owning a dozer: the undercarriage. An undercarriage can eat 50% of a machine's lifetime maintenance cost. Track links, bushings, rollers, sprockets, they wear down constantly. Every hour in abrasive soil, every pass over rocky ground grinds away at components that cost thousands to replace. Komatsu's answer was Plus, the parallel link undercarriage system. And the innovation here is simply beautiful. The bushings rotate. In a conventional undercarriage, bushings are fixed. They wear in the same spot on the same surface every single rotation. Plus bushings rotate slightly with each pass, distributing wear across the entire circumference instead of one focused point. The result? Service life essentially doubles compared to conventional systems. You're replacing undercarriage components half as often. In harsh terrain, mines, quarries, abrasive soils, that's not a feature, that's survival. This is where the D65 stopped just being a challenger and became a long-term investment. Contractors don't just buy machines, they buy cost per hour, and Plus drove that number down hard. Section 4. Intelligent machine control. But here's where the D65 went from tough to smart. The D65 EXI, the I designation, brought Intelligent Machine Control, or IMC, into the cab. And this is the shift that redefined what a dozer could be. Fully automatic blade control. The machine handles everything. Bulk earth moving, rough grading, and finish grading without the operator making constant manual corrections. The machine reads the grade plan, positions the blade, and holds it to the target automatically. What used to take a master operator decades to perfect, feeling the grade, reading the terrain, micro-adjusting the blade, the D65 EXI does it in real time. Now, does that mean operators are obsolete? Not even close. What it means is that a good operator becomes more productive. A newer operator gets up to speed faster, and the quality of the finish grade, consistent, every pass, every time. This was the moment the D65 stopped competing with Caterpillar on durability alone and started competing on technology. The D65 EXI is a modern technological powerhouse. It's not just pushing dirt, it's pushing dirt to millimeter precision. Section 5. Powertrain efficiency. One more piece of the puzzle, because power and smarts mean nothing if you're burning through fuel budgets. The D65's powertrain upgrades included automatic shift transmissions and a lockup torque converter. The lockup converter mechanically couples the engine to the transmission at operating speed, eliminating the slippage losses of a traditional fluid converter. Translation? Up to 10% reduction in fuel consumption. On a machine running 8, 10, 12 hours a day in demanding conditions, that's real money. Over the life of a machine, that's the difference between a fleet manager keeping his job and losing it. Because it wasn't built to win one battle, it was built to win every battle. It challenged Caterpillar in America with a D65E. It revolutionized blade design with SIGMADOZER. It doubled undercarriage life with Plus. It brought automation to the job site with IMC. And it did it all while burning less fuel. The D65 isn't just a machine, it's a case study in how relentless layered innovation, durability, versatility, intelligence turns a challenger into a legend. If you want to see how the D65 stacks up against the Caterpillar D6 head-to-head, same class, same weight, different philosophies, that video is coming next. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Until then, keep your blades down and your tracks moving.